Here in Mayanot, everybody comes in, not everybody, most people come in your stage, not necessarily, Hebrew. Slowly, we'll learn everything.
Uh-huh.
You know how to read? You know the alphabet?
It's not. I know the alphabet, but I know very little.
Great. We'll go through everyone starts that way, and slowly you learn.
Okay.
That's why you came, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. Welcome.
Nice.
Very good. Guys, let's open up Parshat Va'Yishlach. This week we have a lot what to discuss. Major concepts in Kabbalah. Even though that we're using a text, this is not a text-based class, and therefore no one be turned off by the text. Page 13 in the booklet.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
page Chav Daled, if you're home in your Torah Ohr at home. Vayishlach Ya'akov Malachim. Yaakov sent angels lefanav, in front of him, al Esav Achiv, to his brother Esau. So, what does Chassidus point out over here? What is Chassidus wondering about over here? Are you cold?
No.
Oh, I say he's sitting like this. Close the window if you get cold. So Chassidus right away looks at this pasuk, and what Chassidus is wondering about? Yaakov sends angels lefanav, in front of him, to his brother Esau. In front of him, Kabbalistically means higher than him. In front of someone, physically means you are in front of me. Spiritually, how could we call Esau that it was evil in front of Yaakov spiritually? And this is going to lead us to a whole conversation in Kabbalah, the idea of Tohu and Tikkun, and the whole idea that the world of Tohu, God created a world of Tohu and it shattered, then the sparks fell down into lower than the world of Tikkun. Our task is to elevate the sparks. This week we're going to make sure that we have, by the end of the week, we're going to try to have clarity on this whole idea that is a very famous Kabbalistic concept that is called what? If you feel coarse and you feel stiff, so you have to break yourself a tiny bit in order to open yourself up, in order to fire go in. Over here we're talking about a whole other concept, but first let's do the text. Let's write down all the questions that we have about the text. Then we're going to slowly answer all the questions, and by the end of this week we'll really understand the whole series of what's going on, the whole idea of Tohu and Tikkun. Let's do it inside. Hine Yodua. This is known. Yaakov, Shorshoy, his root is Bechinas Shema, from the level of the name Ma. The Olam HaTikkun, the world of Tikkun, from the name Ma. We don't understand anything yet, and don't think that you're weird for not understanding, because none of us understand what we're reading now. This is what we're doing. We're first going to read it without understanding, and then we're going to hopefully learn every word separately, and then the puzzle is going to be amazing. So it says Yaakov comes from the level of the world of the name Ma, of the world, the Olam HaTikkun, from the world of Tikkun. V'sharsha shel Esav, but the root of Esav, who is Mibchinas Olam HaTohu, comes from the world of Tohu. What is the world of Tohu?
Chaos.
The world of chaos. The world of chaos. Chaos is in Hebrew Tohu, and for you Americans of here, it's easy to remember. Instead of tofu, tohu, right? Everybody knows what tofu is, right?
Yeah.
Now, what happened in the world of chaos? Let's see. The oiras v'toyu, and the lights in the world of chaos, Hem gedolim me'oid. They're very big. V'lo yochlu lislabesh b'soich hakelim, and they were not able to become enclosed into the vessels. V'nistalku ma'akelim. And they came out of the kelim. So there's a story over here. What happened in the world of Tohu? The lights were too big, so they couldn't go into the vessels. Whatever that means exactly, that's what we're going to discuss. The lights were too big and they couldn't go into the vessels. And what happened? And they went out of the kelim, the heim bechinat makifim, and they are on the level of makif. They are surrounding, encompassing the vessels. The kelim and the vessels, nishburu, they broke, the noflu lamata, and they fell down here. This is the famous story of the breaking of the vessels. Anyone that ever touched Kabbalah knows there's a breaking. You learned a lot of Kabbalah. But the breaking of the vessels is a very famous concept in Kabbalah. And therefore, because Esav comes from the level of Tohu, and the Tohu broke, and therefore Haya Esav Shalamata, Esav down here was a Rasha. He was a Rasha. But from the aspect of his root in the level of the makifin of tohu, the tohu, the lights of the world of tohu, em lemaila, they are above the tikkun, from the lights of tikkun. And as it's going to be explained further, Be'ezer Hashem, al posa v'yikach biyodoi mincha. Okay, let's make a list of all the questions that we have, and by the end of the week, we should have the answers to all those questions. What is it in worlds? Kabbalistically, world of Toyu, world of Tikkun. What does world mean?
This sense is like dimensions, basically.
Okay, we already discussed that, but we'll have to discuss it again for the guys for this week. What is the meaning of worlds? Now, he describes that the world of Tohu had big lights. Over here it doesn't say these words, but we know it from other places. Had big lights and small vessels. The world of Tikkun has small lights and big vessels.
Yeah.
What does it mean, big? What does it mean, small? What does it mean, lights? And what does it mean, vessels? These are all Kabbalistic terms.
Light of Hashem, no?
What do we mean, light of Hashem? Hashem is a flashlight.
Capacity and energy. So light would be energy, and then the vessel would be the capacity to contain it. They're just using. It's easier to think about it now because now we have like a massive amount of energy in these things, but back then they had to build massive, vases and this thing. Yeah, I guess.
Amazing. So Ethan gives the answer right like this. He says that light is the energy, and vessels is the ability to contain it. That's very, very true. What do we mean, though, in talking about godliness, energy that cannot be contained in a vessel, which afterwards causes that the vessels shatter, the lights stay, but they hover over. They are encompassing the vessels. The lights cannot go into the vessels. So in the example of the battery, it's very good. If you have too much energy, the battery will explode, right? That's a very good example. But over here, too much light, too much energy, the battery will explode.
That's why I shouldn't do.
By the way, this is a brilliant example. I love the example because energy, energy and the battery.
everyone on the live is like, what's happening?
מיכאל היקר, מיכאל,
Is he talking on the phone?
It's the-
מיכאל, פשוט,
Batteries. חשמל.
Energy and batteries is a brilliant example because what I love about it is even though the energy is like completely different than the container, which is a very good light and vessels, but still a bit more spiritual. So over here we say something very interesting, that the light is still there. It just doesn't have the ability to come into the vessel. And therefore the vessel shatters and it breaks. But then there is Yaakov, and therefore Esav, even though that he comes from a higher place, he fell lower. And our task in this world is to take the sparks and bring it back into the world of Tikkun. And therefore, when we bring it to the world of Tikkun, which world of Tikkun is big batteries, big containers, so the ultimate is going to be where you have the lights of Tohu, he has the lights of Tohu in the vessels of Tikkun. The last years before the Rebbe passed away, the Rebbe spoke a lot about bringing Mashiach, and he said should be lights of Tohu in vessels of Tikkun. What's the advantage of having lights of Tohu in the vessels of Tikkun? Because the lights of Tohu are big lights and small vessels. Tikkun is small lights and big vessels. And what do we try to do? What is Mashiach?
Make it
Kabbalistically, big lights in big vessels. And that is what our weekly parsha is, where basically Chassidus explains to us that Yaakov sends out angels to Esav, and what does he want to do? What does he want to do? He wants to merge, he wants to make peace. Why does he want to make peace with Esav? Because he says, you Esav, you have an advantage over me. What is your advantage? You have big lights.
And I have a big vessel.
I have big vessels. Let's merge. Well, we'll merge, the world will be a perfect place. But then he realizes that Esav is a Rasha. Esav doesn't know how to deal with his big lights.
I can't control
And therefore, he understands that he by himself has to be both. He by himself. Good morning, Boaz. Come.
I'm sorry, come right behind you. You're from San Diego, right?
Yep.
Nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you coming out from.
Nice to meet you, I'm Ethan.
We all heard about you.
Yeah, he's been telling everyone.
Yes, he's been showing a picture to
It's kind of
everyone.
like a big deal. Some news coming right now. Like,
So what Chassidus does in our weekly parsha is that Chassidus takes the story of Yaakov meeting Esav or sending angels to Esav and takes it into, first of all, into a much more cosmic idea, the idea of the merger of two worlds, and ultimately what we want to try to do is we want to learn how to bring it down into our lives. What does it mean by us to merge the Yaakov and Esav in us? And ultimately, when we're going to do it within us, what's going to happen? We're going to Mashiach to make the world a perfect place by understanding the different energies of the world and understanding how to merge the two. Everything makes sense, Ethan? Even without understanding Hebrew?
Yeah, kind of makes sense. I mean, it's very complicated.
Complicated?
It's hard to understand. I mean, it's hard to
Not
comprehend.
complicated, sophisticated.
Sophisticated. Okay.
The big difference. Because complicated means, oh, what's going on? Sophisticated means, oh, he's saying something, let me try to understand it. They say marriage is not complicated, it's sophisticated.
Yeah. Okay.
Just have to learn how to.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
What?
Just
Yeah,
talking about
but there's like the book, the positivity bias. It's all about words. If you put the negative word complicated, it's harder for you to understand it than the longer term. If you put it sophisticated, you would say, right now I don't understand it, but
That's where we're going to work together every morning until we figure this out. Okay, so how do we make sense of this? Yeah, Boaz? Yaakov sends angels to Esav. Lefanav. He sends angels in front of him. Says Kabot, says Chassidus, in front of him? Yes, because Esav comes from a higher place than Yaakov. The only thing Esav comes from the world of Tohu. Therefore, he's shattered. Because in the world of Tohu, the lights were very big, the vessels were small. So the lights went out of the vessels, and the vessels broke. But then Yaakov, which is from the world of Tikkun, where the vessels are very big, the lights are small, he actually wants to meet Yaakov, he wants to merge with Esav, and then he realizes that Esav is still a troublemaker, and therefore he understands that we have to do both. We have to do both the lights of Tohu into the world, into the vessels of Tikkun. If you're cold, we close them.
No, I had crumbs in my shirt from the service.
What?
I was doing this because I had crumbs in my shirt from the service.
Okay.
And how dare I?
How's the Mazonos? Someone told me today that it was too doughy.
They've been like that. I don't mind.
the best Mazonas we had was the ones that were in the plastic ones. I love those ones.
Okay,
So
well,
they undercook the mazonos and they burn the rest of the food.
Yeah.
No, it's two different people, and we'll have to tell them to add a few minutes. Okay, I didn't know that it was doughy.
It was doughy.
I don't mind.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy. We'll have other Chassidus class.
Yeah.
Why dough
It's not good for you.
is why.
It's good.
It's Kabbalistic reason.
Callous.
No. Well, there's Chassidus explains what happens to bread if it stays dough.
Seriously.
In Parshat Va'Yishlach, yeah. So it doesn't explain why. It just says Torah is like bread, and if you don't learn it with the warmth of being a God-fearing person, someone interested in a relationship with God, it stays dough, and then the Torah makes you sick. It makes you. It's like the Torah could become poisonous because it doesn't become really absorbed in the body.
We talked about it last time.
Right. Well, we didn't talk it in the analogy of dough. So we had someone on. Boaz came in. I said, "Hi, Boaz." That person left.
Yeah.
No, because they want to focus. Like they're sitting in the middle of the night in America. They want to hear a class. Or that I'm just being nice to all my students over here. Yes, you guys are more important than all the people over there on YouTube. We're only here in the class. This is only to add to the class, not to take off from the class. Fine.
They like my grand entrance.
Huh?
They like my grand entrance.
Oh, they're sitting in America and says, Boaz, why can't he? Why can Boaz? Why can't Boaz come 7:30?
Oh. Sorry, it's like back to Montenegro. We're not.
As fast as I could.
Yeah, that's supposed to be very great sleep. Wow.
I'm very. It's okay.
It's all fun.
Okay.
It's all fun games.
Okay. It was a serious joke. Okay. But no. But it's still better for you to come even late than not to come at all.
Yeah.
Fine. Even for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Guys, let's start to talk about the ideas of Torah and Tikkun.
Yes.
These are very, very essential concepts in Kabbalah.
Yeah.
And this could explain a lot of major things in. Better not to put a phone on a holy book. This could explain a lot of major things in understanding Judaism, understanding Kabbalah, understanding the blueprint of the world. In the beginning, so first of all, based on this, how many questions did we have? We had, what is the meaning of? What is the meaning of world? What does it mean? Big lights, small vessel. What does it mean? Lights. What does it mean? Vessels. What does it mean? Big. What is small? What is Shema?
Yeah.
What does it mean that the light still stays there but in a hovering way? And what does it mean that the vessels break? And what does it mean to merge the two, the big lights of Tohu into the big vessels of Tikkun? These are all the questions that we promised to have answered at the end of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah? Does it make sense?
What's
Have you ever
the-
studied the concept of Toyon Tikkun? Great, so we're going to do it now. And we're very happy that you're here.
No, my biggest struggle is getting up for Chassidus the day after Shabbos.
Yeah.
That's
my
it's
biggest
also
struggle
hard for
here
me.
in Yeshiva.
It's also hard for me.
It's the one thing I
Believe
can't do.
I try to learn with my son in China an hour before here.
In China?
My son lives in China. He's a shliach in China.
Oh, wow.
So today I woke up 5:45, and I asked him, learning today. He says, "No, I forgot to tell you, I'm on a train ride. I won't be able to learn today." And I was like in my head, shoot, why didn't he tell me last night? I could have slept in another hour. And I was about to type to him, next time, let me know. Next time, if you can't learn, let me know. Then I told myself, no, I'm not going to.
Well, he's gonna know now because.
Yeah, because he's going to listen to this amongst all the thousands of people. and I was already typing it. I deleted it. It's like I want to get used to waking up early. If he's not there, I should learn by myself.
It's good to let go of things too. You don't have to like. People realize when they mess up like that. I've been trying not to poke people when someone like does something that agitates me a little bit. Just no comment, just silence.
Wow, silence something was worse.
You think so?
Silence.
Pick your fights.
Yeah, or not
No,
just pick your
no,
fights.
no,
Not make no
it's-
like let it, like there was a kid behind me who was like hitting my arm with her foot at the flight. I could have said something, but instead I just
Yeah.
moved my arm and I just let it be.
As a kid.
But I didn't know it was a kid. I thought it was like a grown
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So I eventually I found out, but I just
How
let it
how
go.
would you
completely.
take-
Usually, I'm the one kicking.
Yeah.
How would you have handled it differently if it was a grown man?
I think I still would have. I was practicing just letting go completely,
Size
so
him
it
up.
wouldn't matter.
Make the difference between a child and a man.
My one point that I want to point out to Ethan, it's not about not saying, it's about not caring. Because if you care and you don't say, you
What? So you're telling him that
Oh.
he needs to care more, or
no. Telling him is never a good idea. The idea in life is from I. I would like to be notified if I don't have to wake up. If you won't be able to learn with me, I would like to be notified the night before. Never say you should notify me, because then the person becomes all defensive. Or say, instead of saying stop kicking me, you say
I know.
I would what?
I know how to communicate. I'm just saying. I'm not like saying I'm going from like biting people like strangers to complete silence. I'm just saying.
That'd be like the problem with like a rabid dog.
Yeah, but the question is if let go means that I don't care, or let go means I don't say because I don't want confrontation.
He's making
No, I'm not afraid of conversation. I'm just saying
Confrontation.
confrontation. Yeah, I'm not afraid of confrontation. I'm just saying, just no,
He's
just like
he's just removing himself from the moment.
removing it like you're like.
And you don't
trying to,
care.
like humble yourself, like not humble, like
No,
not
but-
like
but-
not care, like not care. Yeah.
Oh, okay, and you don't care if he's kicking you.
Yeah,
He can kick you for another hour and won't bother
it
you.
is what it is.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, it
I'm
wasn't.
the-
It
I'm the
wasn't.
opposite.
It wasn't like.
I would have said that.
Bah. It was like sort of.
I would've
slightly
No,
rude.
obviously, guys, we're not talking about Ethan being kicked on the airplane. We're over here, a group of men. We're trying to grow, and we meet every day, and we try to learn, and we try to take this into our lives. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do over here. And I think that there's a very, very important distinction. If you can get yourself not to care, don't say anything. If it does bother you, I think it's more important to speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe in speaking up and being able to be confrontational in the healthiest way possible, where you don't see the other person as an object, where you don't see the other person as crazy, and you have the ability to communicate your needs. I personally think that if you do care and you don't say things, it's not healthy, because then it could explode in other places. I think in a marriage, how does Rabbi would always say, a marriage, it's not about
I can see your point.
trying to say.
I
Ultimately,
don't think I want to argue.
I mean,
no.
I still think I'm in the right, but
No, I'm not saying, I don't think that we're
I
arguing.
think you're talking from like a experiential point. Like I wasn't like feeling intense negative emotions. It wasn't like a disrespectful thing. It was like it's just very. It was just like a simple choice.
Can I come with
A second one, I just want to say a second about Rabbi Kaufman. Obviously, Rabbi Kaufman will also agree if you can get yourself to a place that you don't care, that would be the best. But that's the question always, is you have to ask yourself, you don't care or you're trying to avoid confrontation?
Like, in terms of a metaphysical approach, not getting stuck in like a single moment in time, then yes, that's I guess where the agreement would be. Like, because if you're getting fed up with something in that moment, it means you're getting stuck in literally in a single moment in time when time's ever moving. You know.
Right, you could use it as an experience to really not care if someone kicks you,
Right.
which is amazing. That's really self-work.
Okay, I want to say something also, if I may.
Yeah.
It's if you look at it as perspective, like first of all, who are we in this world? In a way, we are a Jewish nation. First of all, we came here to do stuff with morality, to make sure if we don't. So if you don't speak up, if you see something that you think is a bad thing, it's immoral. We say, I'm not going to act upon it because I'm going to be silent and see it's something that is bad.
Yeah, I don't
And
think it's
not.
immoral. The
No,
person
not
didn't
talking about
realize.
not talking about kicking, but like if you like in anything, like if you keep silence, then you can change the
What if your
world.
roommate doesn't keep Shabbos?
Huh?
What if your roommate doesn't keep Shabbos? Is that like immoral? Like, do you stand by? What do you do for that?
So
That's a whole other
that's a whole
topic.
that's a whole different.
Yeah, well,
thing.
yeah, already fine. But that's not like immoral. Like, do you speak up?
If you see people fighting or whatever, you should
Fine, that's
you
more
should, you
overtly.
should try to do something to stop it. For example, in this case, if a kid is kicking, for me, I wouldn't even talk to the kid. I'd see if the mother is next to it and said, "Please, can you maybe
He said it's
can you please like ask your like can you like politely to make sure that your kid is not kicking? Because why? Because if you're not doing anything, you're forcing a behavior on a child, then it's okay to. Nobody will ever say, "Don't do it."
Yeah.
No,
I
but
mean,
I don't
I-
think that the educate a kid.
Why not?
Why not?
If a kid is
Oh, that's not my task to do. Yeah, you
but
think it's
some-
my
No,
task?
I'm not going to educate. I'm
You
gonna ask the mom to
simultaneously
do it.
have to make the assumption that this person is eventually going to grow up and stop kicking, and
You don't know that.
well,
Yeah.
it's inevitable because
Probably.
because you look at it in terms of probabilities. The kid's going to go down another flight someday. He's going to keep kicking, and somebody is going to have a bad day and turn around and say some really nasty
but
things.
that's guys.
You'd rather-
that's his work though. It's,
Right,
it's
that's
his
what I'm
karma.
saying.
It's
That's what
not.
I'm
It's not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's nothing to do.
So listen. So would you rather be with you? You're going to say respectfully to the next guy who's not. That's my philosophy.
And what if they don't give a shit? What if they don't care?
Oh, then you turn around, and you just go back to and then you just.
Yeah,
argue
but then either way,
I think
if,
we're
if, they,
all-
if they did care, they would lecture. They would tell the child. If they don't care, then
That's
nothing.
the thing.
So that's why.
That's an argument you can never win. You can never make someone care.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the situation that you
That's
don't care?
why
There's no reason you can't fight.
you as a person have really the only choice in those types
We're
of
not talking about
situations.
that. I think that everybody over here is saying a true point in different situations.
Okay.
David is talking from a perspective of changing the world. Ethan is talking from a perspective of humility, letting go. I'm talking from a perspective that if you have something to say, it's not about shutting up, it's learning how to say it.
What am I saying?
And Boaz is saying, like, try to save the person. Ultimately, you're going to save it in a nicer way than less. The next person might get a punch in the face.
terms of
So
probability.
you care. You in terms of probability. I think everybody is talking. Everybody is saying that
living
they're
people, living conflict resolution. Like,
Yeah, Ezra brought up like a whole other concept.
Ezra-
I'm thinking of conflict resolution.
Ezra, this is Ezra's opinion. He says they can't be a problem if they don't exist.
Okay, that's a question, but ultimately, it's possible that what Ethan is saying, it's not a conflict if you don't feel conflicted.
That's what I'm.
If
Exactly.
exactly, if you don't mind, it's not a conflict. You don't care. You didn't. He said, I wasn't emotionally worked up. So that's true. That's the best. That's what I was trying to say. If you're not emotionally worked up, don't say anything. Why say? I don't think that it's our task to educate the child. It's not immorality. I think that he'll grow up, he'll stop kicking. I don't think that the next person is going to give him a punch in the face. The probability.
You never know next person.
You never know. Maybe that the next person will.
I've seen the videos.
I was punched in the plane.
Yeah.
Kids screaming, an old guy screaming at a baby for crying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going crazy. The baby's crying. You're like screaming.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
on the plane.
Yeah, I had a small girl crying the whole way next to me
Montenegro?
on the way to Montenegro.
I'd be crying too if I was going to Montenegro.
We're in Montenegro.
Montenegro is a beautiful place.
I'm just joking.
Okay, but that was very interesting. I think everybody said true things, and I think everything goes into everybody is right. Everybody is right in a different situation. And really, what we need to do is we need to learn how to do each and every one of those things. We have to learn how to make the world a better place. We have to learn how to put ourselves aside and be more humble. We need to learn how to say things if they really bother us, if they really do bother us. And that's it. And we have to learn how to weigh our probabilities. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everyone. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Toya and Tikkun. Let's start on 7:30.
Yes. Don't be late.
It's literally just Sundays.